Hey there, this is Callie with Blank Canvas Land. Thank you so much for checking out our latest listing video. We are going to be heading back to Coconino County, Arizona. As always, feel free to check out our listings at blankcanvasland.com. We currently have just the one listing available. However, we will be adding more in the next couple weeks. So we are at 2758 West Roberts Road in Williams, Arizona, 86046. It is, however, much closer to Ash Fork, Arizona, which I'll show you on some maps here in just 1 second. First thing you can see about the property is that, well, 1, there's a power pole on the property. 2, there's some road signage. And 3, there's really great road access. The property is actually on this corner right here. It's a little over 2 acres. It's on the corner of Murdo Way and Roberts Road. Again, here are the power lines. So there's a power pole right on the corner of the property. This is going east on Roberts Road, and here's north-south on Murdo Way. It looks like the power lines run both north-south and, at the very least, east down Roberts Road. But this one here on the corner of the property is a good sign. I did put the information in for how to get a hold of APS, which is the electric company in the area, for how to set up a meter. But at the very least, having that pole on the property does not hurt anything in terms of electric access. All right, so we did get a drone out there to take a look at it, which is really nice because it gives you not only a view of the property, but also gives you a feel for the slope of the property, and you can see out into the distance a little bit. So these mountains out here are the Coconino National Forest. There are some rolling hills, and generally the terrain, at least from where I can see here, and then looking at some topographic maps and Google Earth, is flat on the property. So feel free to hop on over, take your time going through these pictures. These, I do believe, are juniper, the vegetation on the property here. And here's just a pulled back version so you can see both roads, property on the corner there. All right, so a few things to point out. Again, Roberts Road and Murdo Way. And so this property is zoned for both site-built permanent homes, which you actually can see in some of these pictures here. I can pull them up. I did not mean to do that. Sorry. Okay, so here's a house right here. And so here's the property. There's a lot in between, and then the third one over, there's a home, and there's a site-built home. Manufactured or mobile homes are also allowed in the area. And recreational vehicles and trailers are also allowed up to 100 days per year. So if you would like to use it for recreational purposes, which there's plenty of recreational activities in the area for sure, you can do that with something that's not permanent up to 100 days per year. But as always, whatever you'd like to do with the property, if you do decide to move forward with purchasing it, please contact Coconino County's planning division and run it by them just to be on the safe side. There is no HOA for this property. There's no time limit to build. The general elevation is about 5,400 feet. And one other thing that's nice to know is that these properties are actually zoned, or at least this one is, 1 acre minimum. This is a little over 2 acres. So potentially, if you're thinking about an investment opportunity, you could divide it up. And with the road access on both sides of the property, it would potentially be, at least access-wise, you could have it on both on Roberts Road and on Murdo Way if you wanted to divide those up into 2 1-acre properties, or just a little over an acre. So maybe you could build on one property, sell the other one off, keep both for a bigger lot, but there's some flexibility for uses down the road if you'd like that. Here's the contact information for APS. And this is to that specific division because APS covers quite a bit of Arizona, but this one is the Coconino District, to talk to them if you'd like to set up a meter. Some other information about utilities. I think water in the area is typically hauled in, and then people use holding tanks. But again, I would verify that before moving forward with purchasing it, just to be sure. I did link a little YouTube video to give you a feel of Ash Fork, Arizona. Just somebody basically put a camera on their dashboard, drove through the town, just to give you a feel for it if you've never been through the area. We're going to look at some maps here in a second to show you the interstate. I-40, Route 89, State Route 89, and Route 66 are all going through Ash Fork there, so good access to the rest of the state. And Oh, property taxes are about $88 a year, so the holding costs are pretty low. And here are the coordinates to the property, if you'd like to put those into Google yourself, and some distances to nearby areas, which we'll go through here next. So hopping on over to Google Earth, here's the property, 2.14 acres, Roberts Road, Murdo Way. Oh, my computer's catching up. There we go. You can see in the area, here's that house that we were able to see in the distance. Other homes in the area. It's hard to tell what is site built and what is manufactured home, but I'm sure it's a mix. And in terms of how to get from Ash Fork to the property, you would take this AA Ranch Road, which is right into Ash Fork, turn west onto Cumberland Road, and you actually can drop this down to Street View to get an idea of what it looks like in the area. So here is AA Ranch Road, and then this is that Cumberland Road, and this is kind of what it looks like as you're driving from Ash Fork to the property. It looks like northern Arizona to me. So I think this is I want to say Flagstone. It says Kaibab Estates West, which is the subdivision. Looks like there's a little, actually not too little as we zone out. I'll show you. I want to say this is Flagstone. Let's see if we can see this sign. No, oops. No, I can't see what it says, but drink stone something or other. So there's some operations out there for stone. And again, we kind of saw that rolling hill as we were looking from the property east. Well, here it is. You can see the road goes right over that hill and into the property. Feel free to plug the address in and you can play around. Here's that. I want to say it's Flagstone. Okay. So zooming back out here, we got north, heading north again. Almost. There we go. Okay. Here's Ash Fork. And the nice thing about Google Maps is you can zoom in on, I think I had the ruler out. So let's get rid of that. Some people take pictures, which is kind of nice. You can zoom in. Let's see. Here's a picture. So somebody just happened to have taken this picture. They're on the I-40. There's a campground there in Ash Fork. So the Ash Fork has Route 66 going through it, which turns into Interstate 40. State Route 89 from the south runs into it, so you can access Prescott really easily. And then directly east from Ash Fork does have a few restaurants, some convenience stores, gas stations. There's even an elementary school. Ash Fork Route 66 Museum looks like that's there. And then about 21.6 miles east on Route 66 or I-40, you run into Williams. Williams has a lot. It's a little bit larger than Ash Fork. Again, grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants. And it does have, it's the hub for some things like the Grand Canyon Railway. And Bearizona, I do believe, is right here in the area. Yep, here's Bearizona. And then you take the 64 north, and you're going to run right into the Grand Canyon. There's an airport here. And Valley. It's not showing it there, but there's an very small airport, which I do believe people fly into and spend some time at the Grand Canyon. Here's Grand Canyon Village, south rim of the Grand Canyon. So, just to orient you there, what's around. And then I believe it was just a little over 50 miles on the 40 into Flagstaff. Of course, there's Northern Arizona University. All kinds. This is a significantly larger town. And let's see, what are some things? I think there's Inner Basin. This is a higher elevation, the Snow Bowl, Arizona Snow Bowl for skiing and snowboarding. So that gives you a good idea about kind of where it is. Oh, and if you're coming from the Las Vegas side, let's see. Here's Las Vegas. I'm not actually quite sure. Maybe I did put that up here on the website. Let's see how far it is to Las Vegas. No, I didn't. I have Kingman, though. It's about an hour and a half to Kingman, 2.5 hours to Phoenix, and 54 to Flagstaff. So that gives you a good overview where the property is located. And then one other thing to note, I think I mentioned that this is the Coconino National Forest, which is vast. This is huge. So the Prescott National Forest is a little south and west. Coconino National Forest, which you can actually see the peaks and some of the mountain ranges to the east of the property, gives you an idea of just how huge it is. And pretty much every recreational activity you can imagine would be available to you in the Coconino National Forest. So, and actually, if you were curious about it, you just type that into Google, and people upload photos, which are really nice. You can zoom through. This looks a little bit more like the Sedona area here. This is closer to... Now, this might actually be kind of in the area. This might even show you where the picture was at, the 91A. Well, anyway, so you can spend a lot of time looking here. A lot of this looks like Sedona. But again, you just head right down 89. You can hit Prescott and Sedona, and there's some four-wheeling happening there. They do those pink Jeep tours. So that's pretty much an overview of the property. Here's some more information. If you go to the Coconino National Forest website, there's actually, I think there's zones to it because it's so huge. But there's a lot of learning and things that you can find out about it, whether any restrictions or closures, etc. So winter to snow bowl, it's letting you know if the snow bowl is open, things like that. So maps and publications I'm sure would be really helpful too. So that's the property. Thank you very much for checking it out. If anytime you'd like to get a hold of me, again, my name is Callie. This is my direct phone number, and you can email me. It's info@blankcanvasland.com, but that comes right to my inbox. So feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, and we can